Hello and welcome. My name is Danny and I have created this Prezi presentation using Prezi.com. So if you like it, you want to create a presentation, that's where you go to. Logos in the lower left hand corner. I just wanted to walk you through what I created so that I can talk to you about it and make sure that there's some level of understanding. Also because I'm turning this into a YouTube video, so I know that if I'm reading it, you have the time to read it as well. So I created a presentation about preparing for the interview, your notebook, and the reason I chose this topic is because I know that there's a lot of YouTube literature already on how to interview. But I felt like there wasn't much YouTube literature on how to best prepare for that interview. And I think that one of the best tools available that we don't consider enough, we don't talk about enough, is the notebook. So let's get started. First of all, congratulations on getting an interview. In an interview, you have one chance to make a good first impression. You and about 20 other people. So preparation, I think, makes a difference. An interview is a conversation between two people. In a job interview, you and the company are trying to determine if you're right for each other. You already know a few things about preparing for the interview. You need to research the company, prepare questions, practice your answers, plan your appearance, check the route, and arrive a few minutes early. In the interview, you need to remember your research, your questions, your answers, while assimilating new information from the interviewer. This is why I always take a notebook into the interview, and you can see that our interviewers all have notebooks in front of them. So to make sure that I'm as ready as my interviewers, I always have taken a notebook, and it looks something like this. We'll go over each thing. So the left page, I always use 2 pages, and the left page has all the things that I need to know before I go into the interview. That's the things that I know. This is the research that I've done. The things I need to know, which are the questions I plan to ask the interviewer. And lastly, why they should hire me. Let's look a little bit more closely at things that I know. Things that you absolutely have to know, no matter what, before going to the interview include the mission, vision, products, and audience. The mission and vision can be found in the About pages. Another place to look would be in the Our Company pages. And explore here. A great place to start would be with the history, and that'll give you some idea on where to go next. When looking at products and services, obviously, you would look at products and services. And how those products and services are marketed will change depending on the type of business you're applying to. So if you're applying to a university, you might be more interested in looking at the different university departments or clubs. When looking at products, you have to figure out whether it's a consumer wholesaler, a retailer, is it a business-to-business product? How many products are sold annually? Is the product a good or a service? And how is it sold? And then to whom is it sold? Are you working with local soccer moms or an entire nation of rock climbers? In addition to these must-knows, there are other places that you should look. You should definitely look for news and reviews. Yelp.com is one of the best places to go for reviews. Events and people. From your research, you should be able to determine, how do I fit into this company? Which is to say, how will you make money for the company? The second part of my notebook are things I need to know. These are the questions that you should be asking. You can use generic questions like, what is a typical day like in this office? How many people work here? Elsewhere? Do you do any work with the community? What am I looking at for a career path? Or you can get great custom questions here, such as, I understand that you started as a neighborhood business. How have your goals changed with growth? What kinds of obstacles are you facing now that prevent you from becoming the premier organic coffee retailer in the U.S.? The highlighted questions are important questions that you should plan on asking. Do you have any concerns about hiring me? You can never fix anything if you don't ask. How can I help you do your job? Remember, HR is just trying to find the best person for the job. Which is you, right? So you should be helping out. How do I move forward in this process? Always, always, always leave with an action plan. Of all these questions, you should pick about 3, 4, maybe 5. But you don't want to ask too many questions either. I try to go in with a larger selection prepared, and then based on my interview, pick the questions that are most appropriate. The last section is why they should hire me. Because they're just trying to find the right person for the job, and you should be helping them. To get this section, you need to look at the job description. Where have you performed the requirements and duties before? Use specific examples of your accomplishments with numbers whenever possible. This section is important because it's the answer to every question. Every single question that is asked, you need to be telling them why they should hire you. And that's the left side. As you can see, we still have a whole nother page to use. I use that page to take notes during the interview. And then it's time to answer questions. I use an essay format to support ideas and keep from rambling. The first thing I do is restate the question, then state the answer, support the answer, and restate the answer. You can see that I have them all written in the lower right-hand corner so I can go through with a pen during my interview to make sure I'm hitting on each point. With that format, I can answer silly questions such as why are manholes round? Do you prefer squares, circles, or triangles? I prefer triangles. I like triangles because I happen to like odd numbers. I think that they're very practical. I imagine triangles to normally be a cutting surface, so I find them to be more practical than squares, however less practical than circles. Therefore, I like triangles. You could also answer interview questions like, what are your greatest strengths? Would you like to give it a try? My greatest strengths are because. Therefore, and that's your format. Practice answering questions in this format. Then you can time yourself and try and answer in less than 1 minute and then less than 30 seconds per response. This notebook should prepare you for any interview and help you feel more confident and look more confident and prepared. It's very, very important to take the time to do your research and to have it somewhere where you can use it, because getting a job is a full-time job. And your supervisors are your interviewers. So did you do your job? Thank you for watching my Prezi presentation. Please leave a comment if you liked or if it helped. If you have any questions, you can get in touch with me at bonddannybond@gmail.com or contact me through YouTube.